Hey everyone, it's John here from Hot Hockey, back with another video. I want to talk about the Buffalo Sabres. The Sabres are a conversation of the playoffs right now, and I got to talk about it. I'm seeing cap-friendly armchair GM. Yes, I'm using armchair GM for a reference here, but just a fun one. Honestly, I want to see what fans are saying. I had a couple fans submit me some ideas for Sabres trades, so if you're a new subscriber, guys, welcome. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Listen to the podcast on Apple or Spotify, Hot Take Hockey Podcast. Drop a like, leave your comments, do all that good stuff, notification bell. But yeah, so the Sabres have been in conversations with a bunch of guys, like Patrick Kane potentially for the offseason, Timo Meier for the now, and I think guys that could get traded, I'm going to go through, like a Rasmus Asplund or a Casey Middlestat. Those are guys that could use a change of scenery. I know Middlestat on, I think, 2 years left. I think 2.5, I want to say, for Middlestat. I know a guy like Olofsson's like 4.75, but they've been in trade rumors. Jacob Bryson, not to say I'm reading into the plus-minus right now, but he's a brutal plus-minus. I know he's had his inconsistencies. He could be a trade piece, and Anders Bjork's just been buried, so he could be traded as well. The Buffalo Sabres also could be competing with other teams. And Thatcher Demko's been a conversation that could the LA Kings trade for a Thatcher Demko, or could the Pittsburgh Penguins trade for a Brock Besser? I've seen the Sabres connected to both those names, but this is armchair GM buzzing here. These are crazy deals. But the Buffalo Sabres, the Timo Meier conversation, this is realistic to me. I actually think in terms of, I would swap Olofsson out here and put I don't know if the Sharks would like a Yoki Haru or maybe a Peyton Krebs in there, but I could see Casey Middlestat in any deal for a Brock Besser or a Timo Meier. But the Sabres going for Luke Schenn would be really interesting, and I think that would make more sense to trade Yoki Haru or Bryson to get a Luke Schenn. But the Buffalo Sabres, if they were to go for some big deals here, I have fans submitting me ideas here. Look at these blockbusters. These are so unrealistic. But I want to talk about this first deal. If you eliminate, this is realistic in my eyes. If you eliminate Demko or Besser and just have one of them combined with a Höglander or Schenn. So think about it as a 2 for 2. Ignore this for a second, all right? We're scrolling back up. So Sabres for a cup run. Demko and Schenn, or Demko and Höglander, all right? And you send a prospect, they have Luukkonen and Devin Levi. They don't need both. Yeah, they could keep both, and maybe they don't want to mistake like the Leafs did. We're doing a Leaf reference here. Back in the day when the Leafs traded Rask and kept Justin Pogge, you don't want a scenario like that if you're the Sabres. So I think they want to keep both those young goalies, but if you're going for a Demko, I think the team might want that. So if the Canucks go for a Devin Levi and then bring in a Middlestat and Peyton Krebs or Middlestat and Olofsson, that makes sense to go for a deal like that. I mean, Buffalo Sabres going for a cup run, give me Patrick Kane in here maybe. But Brock Besser and Timo Meier are two guys that I would look at for them. I mean, Brock Besser would not be that expensive, and Middlestat could use a change of scenery potentially, even though he has improved a little bit. But I think that's the kind of guy that the Canucks are looking at. And I also know that, if you guys go to Armchair GM, that's kind of what it looks like. Deadline for Bernard. But the Buffalo Sabres, if I was to pull up maybe their most recent one, we'll do a surprise one here. So buyers, let's see what this person has. So has the Sabres getting Reimer, but why? Barbashev, maybe that's realistic. So the Sabres is going for depth moves here, and that's their lineup going into the playoffs. That's not bad. But again, I would consider the Sabres moving one of these defensemen if it meant going for a big upgrade. I know people have talked about Erik Karlsson, but we will see. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. I just wanted to go over a quick discussion what the Sabres could do, because again, another Leaf reference here. I would relate the Sabres to the 2017 Leafs. So maybe they go for a Luke Schenn and just trade a third or second round pick, because they have, keep in mind, the Buffalo Sabres have 3 second round picks, I believe. If we, so not in this scenario, but if you go to what I had going here. So the Sabres literally trade 2 second round picks and still have a second round pick in 2023. So they have 3. They have 1 from Philly, 1 from Vegas, and 1 of their own. So I can see the Sabres trading 2 second round picks. And if that means getting an upgrade like a Schenn, or including those 2 second round picks in a big deal for a Timo Meier, again, these big blockbusters are so unrealistic, but it's fun to talk about. And honestly, it does lead to actually realistic outcomes. So maybe not that big deal, but maybe they get a Brock Besser, or maybe not that big deal, but they get a Luke Schenn, or maybe not the big deal in San Jose, but they do signal, or they zone in on Timo Meier. So to me, the Sabres are the ideal candidate for both an Erik Karlsson and Timo Meier, because they have the flexibility for cap, but more so with Timo Meier, they would be one of the few teams to give that $10 million qualifying offer and not be screwed over by it. So let me know what you guys think in terms of the Buffalo Sabres, but other teams like Thatcher Demko, Sabres, Kings, or Brock Besser, where you think he could end up. This was a Sabres video, but it was also just a general video of what could happen, and maybe the Sabres competing against other teams for also like trade candidates, but also a playoff spot. So as I said, subscribe, like, comment, notification bell, all that good stuff, and we'll see you on the next video or stream. Peace.